Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going deep into B2B payments.
Yeah, payments.
You know, the stuff that keeps businesses humming along behind the scenes?
The gears turning?
Exactly, the gears. And we're focusing on something that's becoming really crucial in this space.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
User experience.
UX.
Oh.
For all the design folks out there.
Yes, UX. So we found this article from wd.agency.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
It came out just this week, actually, and it calls UX a strategic growth lever in B2B payments.
That's a bold statement.
It is. It really is. From features to outcomes. That's the title.
I like it.
Catchy, right? But I gotta admit, when I first saw it, I thought,
Yeah.
Isn't good UX always about outcomes? Like, what's this article really trying to say?
Well, you see, it's pointing out that lots of B2B payment companies fall into this trap.
Oh, a trap. Okay.
Yeah, they call it feature fatigue.
Feature fatigue, huh?
So they just keep adding more and more features.
Oh, so they're trying to, like, one-up each other?
Yep, exactly.
Right.
They're missing the bigger picture.
So instead of asking, what cool new thing can we add, they should be asking,
What problem are we actually solving for the user?
bingo. Now, the article gives this great example about small and medium-sized businesses, SMBs,
Oh yeah.
struggling with cross-border payments.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Right. They get hit with this platform that brags about having all these transaction tracking filters.
Filters.
All the filters. But their real pain point
Real problem.
is unpredictable arrival times and those darn fluctuating FX rates.
Yeah, those are gay.
Eating into their profits. Ugh, I can imagine pulling my hair out if I was a small business owner.
Oh, for sure.
Dealing with that kind of uncertainty. No amount of fancy filters is going to fix that.
Nope, not at all. That's where outcome-driven UX swoops in.
Okay, so tell me about outcome-driven UX.
So it flips the script. It doesn't start with features.
Okay, so where does it start?
It starts with really understanding what your users want to achieve.
So like in that SMB cross-border payment situation, what would be some examples of outcomes a business might want?
Well, just imagine a platform that doesn't just tell you when a payment is initiated, but it gives you like a reliable, narrow window of when the funds will actually be available.
Okay, so you know exactly when to expect it.
Yep. Taking into account those pesky FX fluctuations.
Okay, now that's actually useful. Information a business can really use.
Right.
To plan and make decisions.
Makes a huge difference. Or how about onboarding?
Ooh, onboarding.
Instead of like a million forms to fill out.
Ugh, the worst.
What if the platform just used some smart tech to pre-populate the fields?
Ew, that'd be nice.
Pull in some publicly available data about the business and bam.
Streamlined.
You're talking about saving so much time and effort.
Exactly.
And that's not just convenient. It directly affects how quickly a business can actually start using the platform.
And benefiting from it. That's the key.
Absolutely. So we're talking about some pretty big impacts on key business metrics here.
Oh yeah, big time.
So let's break those down, starting with customer acquisition cost.
CAC. If onboarding is super easy, more potential clients will stick around and become paying customers.
Makes sense, right?
Totally. You spend less on marketing and sales to get each customer.
Exactly.
Now, what about keeping those customers happy in the long run?
That's all about customer lifetime value, or CLV.
Okay, CLV.
So if your platform consistently helps a business achieve its goals.
And what would those goals be?
Things like predictable cash flow, simplified financial management, efficient cross-border transactions.
Right, practical stuff.
Exactly. If they're getting those things, they're going to stick around.
Happy customers.
They're going to be loyal, less likely to switch to a competitor.
So by really focusing on outcomes, you're not just making a nice platform to use.
It's more than that.
You're building loyalty, increasing the value of each customer over time.
Long-term thinking. It's powerful stuff.
It really is. But there's another metric that I think gets overlooked sometimes, average order value.
AOV.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So if the platform is easy to use, intuitive businesses might be more likely to explore all the different services or even upgrade to like a higher tier plan.
Because they're not afraid to click around.
Exactly. They trust that it's not going to be some confusing nightmare.
They've already had good experiences achieving their initial goals.
So they're more open to expanding their use of the platform.
Which, of course, drives up that AOV.
Smart.
Yeah.
And then there's that less measurable but equally important factor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Overall client satisfaction and the quality of the relationship.
Absolutely. This is where those traditional players like banks.
Oh, yeah, the banks.
You have a real opportunity.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about how banks can use this outcome-driven UX to their advantage.
Oh, yeah, let's get into that. So banks, they have this reputation, right? For being a bit old school.
Yeah. Lots of paperwork, slow processes.
Not exactly known for, being cutting edge.
Not exactly cutting edge UX.
Right, but that's actually where their strengths come in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting how so.
Well, think about it. Banks have been collecting data on their customers for like forever.
Oh, yeah, for decades.
They've got this massive amount of information.
It's a gold mine.
It is a gold mine, just waiting to be used.
Okay, so data is the new gold, as they say.
It is.
But how does that translate into better UX for B2B payments?
Okay, so imagine this.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a platform, and it knows, based on your past transactions, that you regularly make payments to vendors in, let's say, France.
France, okay.
It could automatically alert you to any upcoming FX rate changes.
Oh, that would be helpful.
That might impact your costs.
So you're not caught off guard.
Exactly. It could even suggest hedging strategies.
Oh, wow.
To protect your profit margins.
It's like having a personal financial advisor.
Right. Always looking out for you.
Pretty cool. So it's not just about predictions, though, right?
No, not just predictions.
Data can also personalize the whole user journey.
Exactly. Imagine being guided through those complicated processes.
Like international trade financing.
Yes. Or supply chain management.
And it's highlighting the most relevant services for you.
Based on your industry and transaction patterns.
It's like the platform's doing the work for you.
It's anticipating your needs.
Instead of making you hunt for information.
Exactly. And onboarding.
Oh, onboarding again?
Yes. Think about how much data banks have.
Okay.
They could use it to pre-populate forms, verify identities, streamline all those compliance checks.
So that clunky onboarding process
I know, right?
becomes a breeze.
It could be a major advantage for banks.
If they can make it super fast and easy.
Right. To get businesses up and running.
Okay, but hold on a sec.
Yeah.
All this data talk makes me think about privacy and security.
Oh, that's a really important point.
Businesses are handing over some pretty sensitive stuff to banks.
Absolutely. Transparency is key here.
So banks need to be upfront about how they're using the data.
And give businesses control over their privacy settings.
Right. It's all about balance.
Finding that sweet spot between personalization and respecting boundaries.
It sounds like banks have some work to do.
They do?
To build that trust.
Trust is everything.
But if they can do it, they could really change the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In B2B payments.
Big time. And while banks are working on that, let's not forget about those fintech disruptors.
Fintechs.
They've been all about user-centric design for a while now.
Yeah, they're known for being agile and innovative.
Fast movers.
But the article suggests that even fintechs, that's room to improve.
Always room to grow. When it comes to outcome-driven UX.
So they've nailed the sleek, user-friendly interfaces.
They're good at that.
But what's next?
The next level is thinking about the entire user journey.
The whole thing, end to end.
Yeah, especially as businesses grow and their needs get more complex.
So it's not just about making individual tasks easy.
Nope, gotta think bigger.
It's about understanding how all those tasks fit into the big picture of running a business.
Exactly. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
A fintech platform might be amazing at processing payments. But what happens when a business needs to reconcile those payments with their accounting software?
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Or what if they need to generate detailed reports?
For different departments or stakeholders.
Right. If a platform can't handle those things well,
it's going to cause some headaches.
Major headaches. Even if the core payment stuff works perfectly.
So it's about looking beyond the immediate task.
Thinking ahead.
Anticipating the user's next steps.
Understanding their workflows, the systems they're already using.
And integrating with those processes?
Seamlessly.
So fintechs can go from just processing payments
to something more?
To being more like financial management partners?
That's it.
I like that. And there's another point from the article.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
That applies to both banks and fintechs.
Both have got to pay attention.
Embedding UX considerations throughout the entire product lifecycle.
The whole thing. From start to finish.
Okay, so break that down for me. What does that actually look like?
It means involving UX designers and researchers from the very beginning.
Oh, so not as an afterthought.
No. Before any code is written.
Wow, okay.
You got to test prototypes with real users, gather feedback, and iterate constantly.
So it's not just a one-time thing.
It's a continuous process.
UX is not just a box to check.
Nope. It's ongoing.
And this is especially important when it comes to integrations.
Oh, integrations.
The integration nightmare, we've all been there.
Trying to make different platforms talk to each other.
Yeah, such a pain.
Right. So instead of adding integrations later,
an afterthought.
Fintechs need to design their platforms with interoperability in mind from day one.
Okay, so build it in from the start.
Make sure those APIs are well documented, easy to use.
Make the whole integration process smooth.
As smooth as butter.
Because nobody wants to spend hours on the phone with tech support.
No, nobody has time for that.
Trying to figure out why their systems aren't talking to each other?
It's all about reducing friction, simplifying workflows, making the user's life easier.
So outcome-driven UX is really about...
It's about understanding those desired outcomes.
And designing experiences that help businesses achieve their goals.
Whether they're a small startup or a huge corporation.
It doesn't matter the size.
Nope. Everyone benefits.
And that brings up a really interesting question.
Oh, what's that?
What about those businesses that traditional financial institutions often overlook?
You're right. We've talked about SMBs.
But there are other underserved markets out there.
Each with their own needs and challenges.
Exactly. So let's dive into that. So we were talking about these underserved markets.
Yeah, lots of businesses out there that don't always fit the mold.
Right. Not your typical corporation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about freelancers, solopreneurs, the gig economy.
They're all doing B2B transactions.
All the time. But their needs are way different.
Yeah, they might not have those big finance teams.
Or fancy accounting software.
They need solutions that are
simple, affordable, easy to use.
And they need something that fits into their crazy workflows.
Because sometimes it's chaotic out there.
It is. And what about businesses in emerging markets?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Where traditional financial services are harder to come by.
They might be dealing with different currencies, regulations, infrastructure challenges.
So many hurdles.
It's a whole different ballgame.
It sounds like there's a huge opportunity here.
Massive.
To create solutions that are actually tailored to these specific needs.
Instead of trying to make one size fit all.
Right, because one size definitely does not fit all.
The B2B payments world is so diverse.
It really is.
And a user-centric approach means understanding all those little nuances.
So as we wrap up our deep dive here
into outcome-driven UX.
What are the key takeaways?
Okay, so first things first. We got to move past those feature wars.
It's not about who has the most bells and whistles.
It's about understanding what users are actually trying to do.
And designing solutions that help them get there.
Bingo.
Companies need to figure out those key business metrics.
The ones that really matter to their audience.
Whether it's reducing chic, or increasing CLV,
boosting AOV,
or just making the experience smoother and more enjoyable.
Exactly. And then align their UX initiatives to support those outcomes.
And this goes for everyone.
Banks, fintechs, those niche companies we were talking about.
The whole ecosystem.
Because UX is not just a nice extra anymore.
It's essential.
A must-have.
If you want to succeed in this space.
It's about creating value, building trust, fostering those long-term relationships.
That benefit both sides.
The business and the customer.
So here's something for our listeners to think about.
Oh, I like this part.
Think about the tools you use every day in your own business.
The digital ones.
What drives you crazy?
What could be better?
What are you really trying to achieve?
And how could those tools be redesigned to help you get there?
Because we're all users at the end of the day.
Every single one of us.
And we all deserve experiences that are intuitive, efficient, and empowering.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's a wrap for our deep dive into the world of B2B payments and outcome-driven UX.
It's been a good one.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, and keep pushing for a better digital future.